Hi, my name is Hank Friedman, and this is my introduction to the wonderful world of astrology software. I got my first astrology program on a cassette tape from my Apple II computer in 1978. By 1984, I knew enough about astrology software to become an expert, and I was asked to write the book, Astrology on Your Personal Computer. After that, all the magazines wanted me to write reviews and articles, and I've been doing so ever since. I also volunteer my time to help companies debug their software, to add new features, and to improve their designs. But what is astrology software? First of all, astrology software is most often used to calculate charts, especially a person's birth chart, but also other kinds of charts too. Some programs can help you learn astrology or create interpretive reports that you can hand out or sell or study. You can generate tables for astrology. For instance, professional astrologers will want graphs of transits, things like that. Some programs can actually answer questions for you. Should I buy that stock today, for example? And some will help you research chart files. Who has Mercury in Capricorn? I want to understand what that's like. Or, when is there going to be a grand trine coming up because I want to schedule a class? There are 3 tiers of astrology programs. The first tier are the free or freeware programs. These programs offer a variety of features, but unfortunately none of them has a built-in time change atlas, so you can neither look up where cities are, nor what time zone they're running right now, and so you have to look that up elsewhere. The beginner-level programs, on the other hand, which are usually under $100, have quite a few features you'd actually be surprised. Not as many, and not crucial ones for professional astrologers, but plenty, including full atlases for looking up longitude, latitudes, and time zones and time changes. Finally, there are many programs from $120 all the way up to $650 that have many, many professional features. Astromapping, transit graphing, animation. We'll be reviewing some of this later. Here are some sample charts. Here's a basic one. Here's one with some more information, each sign divided into 3 decanates. Here's a beautiful one that actually I designed and gave to one company to give to customers. And here's another one with pastel colors. This is one with very large glyphs on the outside, whereas this is a European wheel. And finally, here's one of many that are beautiful enough to literally print out and hang up on your wall. Help in learning astrology. There's lessons in astrology, glossaries and encyclopedias of astrology, point-and-click interpretations, and full interpretive reports built into some programs. Here's one company's lessons in astrology. Notice there's many different classes that you can take one at a time or in whatever order you want. Here's another company's lessons in astrology. When you get to an astrological encyclopedia, which actually several programs have, you click on a letter, you choose the term, and then you see what it means. And in this picture, I pointed and clicked on Jupiter, and it popped up a window telling me what Jupiter means by sign, by house, and even by aspect. Then we have all the interpretive reports. There are birth chart reports, general ones for everyone. Reports specifically for women, for children, for teens, for gay people, for pets. There's specialized natal reports that focus on a specific theme, like health, or karma, or Chinese astrology, or what asteroids mean in a person's chart. And there's predictive reports that show you how the sky is unfolding and what you can expect from the next week, month, year. And there are also compatibility reports. People want to know how they're going to get along with prospective boss or client or even their children. And there's relocation reports which can show you, if you move to Chicago, what the energies are going to be like there. Here's a sample of a natal or birth chart report. It shows you the sun in Cancer, and it says you have a powerful attachments to the past, your family, your childhood, and goes on to delineate what it means to have Sun in Cancer. Practicing astrologers need a lot of different tools. They need a variety of types of charts. They need listings, graphs, tables, and so on. They need transit graphs and time maps to show them how the sky is unfolding for a particular person. They need astromaps for relocation again, and eclipse maps to see if you're affected by an eclipse. Animated wheels and bi-wheels so you can actually watch the sky unfold. Let's say you're choosing a class. You can have it step 1 week at a time every Monday night to see which one's the best. Natal aspect grids and compatibility grids, which can show you the actual interactions within a chart or between two charts. And graphs of element modes and aspects showing you the proportion of different factors in a chart. Here's an example of a bi-wheel on the left and a tri-wheel on the right. The bi-wheel shows the transits around a natal chart and the aspects formed between them. The tri-wheel shows you the transits and the progressions around a natal chart for those who want several things at once shown. Here's an assorted page of tables that I put together. In the top left, we have a typical planet table which shows you the planet, the symbol, its position, its sign, and its house. In the middle top, we have a listing of Arabic parts. Some people use them a lot. In the top right, we have nakshatras, lunar mansions that are used in Vedic astrology. In the bottom right, we have midpoint trees, which many astrologers use, saying, okay, for instance, the Sun is at the midpoint of Mars and the node. That might be very potent. On the left bottom, we have the aspect grid we were talking about. It shows the actual interactions and the strength of the interactions within a chart. Above that, we have an eclipse table which shows you the nearest eclipses before and after someone's birth. For example, to find out if someone's born near an eclipse, which could be a very relevant piece of information. And finally, on the left of that, we have an element graph, which shows you how many of each of the 4 elements there are. Good for understanding the person. When you look at a transit graph, we see several things. In one transit graph, we can have progressions and transits and eclipses and changes in direction from retrograde to direct. And so this can be very useful. It can show you the entering times and leaving times and really help you understand how different events will overlap and perhaps synergize, stimulate each other. Here's an astrocartography map. In this map, if you look at the vertical line for Saturn, which is over here, the black line, we see that it goes through Milwaukee and Chicago. So it's probably not the best place for me to settle down or visit. I might encounter delays or hardships or challenges there. On the other hand, the red Jupiter line here is right near Denver, which means I might have a very good time in Denver. The doors may open for me. Look at this chart. This chart shows you the planets in the sky moving around a natal chart and the aspects they form. This is an animated chart. As I said earlier, it's very, very useful for watching the sky unfold for yourself or for others. When you want answers to questions, there's several tools. Some programs have a horary graph. Notice how there's all green from around 10:45 to 12. That would be the time to initiate an activity in this graph. There's reports that tell you all the factors that are going on at a moment in time. And there's actually oracles and decision makers that can say, we think you should do this right now, or we think you shouldn't do this right now. You'll have to test how accurate they are, but there are programs that attempt that. Then there are tools for research. Researching factors in chart files, like who has a grand square, so you get a feeling for what that means. Searching for events in time, like, boy, that one transit really affected me. When is it going to happen again? Evaluating compatibility factors. I want to know who has Sun in their charts conjunct my Sun, because I find that very compatible. Creating models for prediction. Let's say you have certain ideas about what would predispose someone to depression. You could create a model and then test it with your clients or with famous people to see if, in fact, it works. There are, in fact, many programs that have medium to large collections of famous people's charts for doing this kind of testing. For more about astrology software, visit my website, www.soulhealing.com. Not only can you learn more about astrology software, but you can get free help from me in selecting the right software for you just by emailing me. My email is stars@soulhealing.com. You can read my published reviews of astrology programs, all of which have been examined by the program writers before they were published, so they're very accurate. Learn how to use astrology software optimally, the pitfalls, why you need an accurate birth time, things like that. And get astrology programs at the best prices. Thank you very much for listening. Bye-bye.